It's weird that there's no sound on the intro. I wonder if it's supposed to be like that or not. Huh. Alright. So yeah, I mostly played this on the Genesis, which runs in a higher resolution, but also is like 320 instead of 256 across. And then it's also slightly letterboxed down, because the arcade game's on 3 screens, so it has a certain look to it. Hang on, I'm gonna crank everything up too. We're gonna play in as far into this shit as we can, and turn on turbo, of course. Does this? I wonder if this gives you all the power ups like it does on the Genesis. I'm kind of curious about that. I'll take a look real quick. Also, make sure our audio is working. I don't think it is. This may be a cancel stream. It may be a shader capture. Now we got sound. We're good. Choosing the other ship doesn't make any difference except for the color, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so this just kind of feels like you're playing on the middle screen and everything's way zoomed in. I don't know how you feel about that. It's very, very different screen formatting than what I'm used to. This has a CD-ROM, so it has a lot more memory. It could possibly make the levels a lot more distinct and accurate to the arcade game than the fairly limited. I want to say it's an 8 megabit Genesis ROM, so. And the flame effects are done well here, but they're the same. I mean, basically the same as they look in the Genesis. Or Mega Drive, if that's where you're from. If you're from a place where it's called a Mega Drive, the game's probably called Darius too there also. It's called Sagaia in North America and a lot of other regions. I love the Darius games, by the way. I think it's a great series. A lot of fun games in it. Score display is huge. Huge, man. There's a tiny Elvis reference. Nobody who isn't super old like me and watched Saturday Night Live back in the day is not gonna get that. Because mostly he was a very small Elvis and he would talk about how big everything else was. Oh, look at that salt shaker, man. That salt shaker is huge. And that was the whole joke, I guess. I don't know. So the fish monsters are cool and huge, just like on Genesis, but there's a bit of flicker there. Yeah. There's gonna be a bit more flicker here and there, I suspect. This is a game where I should probably pause every single level to rest my hand. So, sorry about the pace on that, but that's going to be the way it goes. This is a game where you have to hold down 2 separate buttons, which is stupid, and I hate it. I think that's kind of a different boss than what you fight on the Genesis, and I heard that the bosses are like seriously remixed in this version too. I think This isn't even supposed to just be Darius 2. This is Super Darius 2. This is an enhanced version of Darius 2. It's different in its own ways. And we're going to go to B. We'll probably just ride the top line first, in fact. And then we'll start experimenting on other playthroughs and stuff. These games are fun to mess around with. Shit. My first death. That's really rough. And they start. Oh my gosh! I've just torn through 3 lives and gotten a bunch of weapon downgrades and stuff. God, that got really rough all of a sudden. That guy was awful. Well, that's a real fucking kick in the dick. Just slowly floating it up off the screen. Is that even normal? Or is that something they just specifically did to screw me over in this one weird scenario? I guess it shot something I couldn't even fucking see. That's another cool thing in Darius games, where they'll flip the boss around and then they'll have you turn around and fight it the other direction. Even the modern ones do that. It's like a thing in these games now. I don't know if the first game had it, but it's starting in 2. Going straight to D. Give me the D. I just realized I'm on mute and chatting away here. I was gonna say I was a little disappointed with the music on this though, because Zuntata, the team at Taito that do the music usually for these games, they make really cool shit, and like these are like remixes of the arcade music. The music in the arcade game was great, but like they just like cock rocked it up, which is what every like remix of shooter music for CD-ROM games sounded like during the era. And it makes me think that it was just the console development team that did that, and Zuntata were probably not involved. And it just, yes, it's like everything turns into a bunch of squealing guitars. It's whatever. It's not horrible. It's just, you know, it's kind of generic in a way. Shit. Well, that was just a sucker punch right there. I was not expect. Oh my god. Sucker Punch Part 2. Get off the back of the screen because it's clearly it's dangerous back there. I'm sure continuing means starting from the beginning of the level with 0 points, but we'll find out here in a second, I think. I wonder if it means losing all power-ups too. It probably does. Is that the only place I'm... Oh, no. Got it. Move away. That was a tough one, though. Yeah, even all the extra color and detail in the animation and stuff, it does lose a bit to the Genesis on the parallax. Like having parallax is nice and adds a lot of depth to the cave type areas. We should just have black backgrounds replacing a lot of the areas that had like multiple layers of. Let's see, we get a little bit of line scroll parallax here, which looks good. The game could probably use more of that. There's like a multi-layer line scroll, like computery looking background in parts of these on the Genesis. It's different. It's different all around. Lost some shielding to that asshole. Are they gonna give me an extra man at a million? Please do, game. Stop being so stingy. And yeah, I'll turn up the settings later. This is to see stuff in the game, and then we'll, you know, we might do some score runs as well. This is something I can play for a while. It seems pretty fun. I don't know that I like it as much as the Genesis version, but in some, I mean, it looks and sounds better, so like on the surface, it's the better one. But I don't think it's actually better. But it's pretty good still, you know? It's like still pretty, either way, it's cool. Most of the Darius games are pretty fun. The one I probably have the least from this generation that I had the hardest time getting into is Darius Force, which came out in the US as Supernova. That game just has kind of a drab visual style, and it's not as fun playing as your typical Darius game. I don't like it as much. It's not awful, but yeah, there's a lot of freaking levels. That's why I have it tweaked down to such an easy setting, so we can see some of them. Like, this is really cool. It's a much darker looking level on the Genesis. And of course we should do the arcade game sometime too. Let's see the source material here. More than different interpretations of it. Not as familiar with the arcade game. I only really remember ever seeing the first game in the arcade. And I don't like Darius, like the original Darius, very much at all. It's not like the worst game ever, but it's not very fun. I don't know what it is. It's one of those games with good music, but it's not a good game. Like, the second one is where they found their footing and like made a cool game. A really good shooter. You know, I might enjoy playing this version of the game on a handheld. Everything's certainly big enough and easy enough for me to read without any spectacles. Shit. This is very weird here. They're letting me free scroll to kind of simulate being able to move around on the extra screen space. That was my last credit, though. Or my last life, I mean. Credit, no, I should be able to continue. We'll see. Also, what does this mean? Clearly I'm starting at the beginning of the level. 9 lives. Sure, I got all that. That part's fine. What about my power-ups? Do I get to keep any? No, you don't get to keep shit. Really sound strategy. Takes a long time, though. Like a suspiciously long time, like I wasn't damaging him. Weird. Kinda hate that. It's taking damage. Okay, good deal. It shoots back, which I'm not doing such a great job of. Oh my god. Is this even more levels than the Genesis? Seems like a huge amount. Quick break here. So, fun fact, Darius 2, or Sagaia, was also released on Sega Master System. Excellent port done by Natsume. In still screenshots is almost indistinguishable from the Sega Genesis version. There's actually two things that set it apart, though. One is that it is 30 hertz. It's a 30 frames per second game, I'm pretty sure. And that was probably done to reduce flicker. It still has quite a bit, I think. But it's relatively smooth. It just, isn't as smooth as it could be. The other thing is that it's missing a whole bunch of levels because it doesn't have enough memory. It's kind of expected. Oh my god, what? It's a really cool background, kind of Geiger-esque computer stuff. Nice. Hand. It's the whole holding down on two buttons at once shit that's really killing me. Oh shit. Man, that was really tough. But I died like 3 times. Alright, Z it is. I bet a lot of people who don't like some of the Darius game soundtracks because they consider them too weird for a shooter might actually like this one, but this is really standard stuff. So, to me it's boring by Darius standard. I want something weirder than this. Again, with the shredding guitar, it never fucking ends on that, does it? Shit. Just a second. go. This is gonna be so hard with no power-ups this late in the game. Jesus H. Oh, it's as bad as I imagined. Oh God. You fancy me lobster. Sweet. Already down a couple lives. Lost most of my lives on that frustrating ass bullshit. That's something. I haven't figured out how to hurt it yet, but I have managed to die. Shoot it in its dorsal fin. Is that what's up? Oh, I think I discovered this way too late. I don't know if I'm gonna have the patience to do this level again. I might do it one more time, but goddamn. I don't know what hurts it now. This is really frustrating. It's the eye or something. Supposed to be shooting it in the mouth. It's the mouth. Okay. Well, shit. I'm gonna need a longer break because my hand is just it's too much, man. In fact, I'm actually probably gonna check the settings in the menu here real quick to see if there's a way to bind both buttons to the same button easily. I doubt that that's possible. I really don't think that that's something that can be done, actually. But I'm sticking with this. Hang on. No, it's not. Yeah, I can't think of any reasonable way to mount the two buttons together, and it's hard on the hand. It's real hard on the hand. Well, damn. What button changes modes? Mode switch L2. Let's see here. Let's see here. Switching to a 6-button pad, and it fucks the game's controls up real bad. Breaks the game's controls. Okay, well, that's not an option. And I lost a life from testing it. Isn't that super fun? Alright, I gotta give my hand a break, and I will be right back. Alright, so looking at the time and thinking about the damage that this is doing to my hand, I'm just thinking this is going to have a couple of really long breaks in it. They're not really long, but I'm gonna have to take longer breaks than normal more frequently. But I got the time for it too, so it's gonna be great. Fuck. This is not gonna be a good run. I mean, I'm already 2 lives down, and I never even really got a start. Man, that just went so badly. Everything went so poorly. It's crazy. Yeah, this might just be so hard at the end that 9 lives just isn't. Not gonna be enough for me. I need about 20 or 30 lives to get through some of this shit, I think. So I don't know if this will be doable. We'll just give it another shot or two. I'm about to hang it up on it though, considering how hard it is. It just seems shitty. Seems too shitty. I got a limited number of credits anyway though, so we may ride it out, we may not. I think we're about 4 or 5 in out of 9, something like that. This turn seems to just especially be shot to hell though. I mean, I'm checked out completely. I don't fucking care at this point. Clearly they just decided to fuck me completely. So whatever. That was my 4th credit, it looks like, out of 9. So I can try this a lot, but I probably won't. Not that important to beat it. We've seen all the levels. That's not all there is to see. We'll just start over on a different path, and one of them I'm sure we'll beat even, probably. Won't be this one though. I don't think I have much of a chance. Now I'm like looking at the screen right now. I'm like looking at how much they're pitting me against. I don't think it's gonna be this one. 2 lives down already. Don't think it's gonna be this one. Yeah, I'm actually done. I'm actually done with this. We'll go ahead and start on another path. That was about enough of that. So hang on. So with it off, is it just you just have to like mash on the buttons? Like how's this control? Because that sounds unplayable. Yeah. Oh, unless you use the turbo fire buttons. which are even more uncomfortable to hold down on than the regular ones. At least it has a turbo fire option. Just absolutely bonkers that it's disabled by default, but oh, one other thing. This came out in 1993. I feel like it should have 6-button support, but when I enabled it, everything went ape shit. So I'm gonna try something real quick. I'm gonna like hard boot it with a new controller, basically. Oh wow, okay, this is really fucking up. Hang on. There we go. Wish I could skip the intro so I could test this stuff faster. Let me skip past it so I can test it faster. Nope. Everything that's going on here has become unacceptable. My computer's acting stupid. Hang on. Windows decided it'd be okay to randomly pop open the start button on top of RetroArch. Super cool. Love that. Oh, it did it again. That's super awesome. I love that it's doing that over and over again. Nothing shithouse shitty about that. What the fuck, man? Oh, okay, this has basically become unplayable. Stupid fucking technical problems. They're inexplicable. Okay. Here we are. It's crazy that the attract mode has no sound. That's not normal settings for a console game, I don't feel like. really hit that explosion pod thing right in time to get absolutely nothing out of it, didn't I? So yeah, if I'd seen this game back in the day, I definitely would have felt like I had gotten cheated on the Genesis out of the better version of this that they got on the PC Engine in Japan. Although 93 is pretty late in the game, so I don't know how much I would have felt like that. And also, I don't know how much I would have been right. I kind of think the Genesis one plays better. But this is still great. And it certainly looks and sounds better. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I would have been like, holy shit, that's the really rad version of the game. Failed to destroy that guy. Same boss, and I'm on a different path. It's kind of disappointing. Especially with all the extra memory and the boasting of, you know, new bosses or whatever the fuck. Yep. H is up next. This is where I need to be letting it sit. Give me a second. Let my hand rest here. Got these natural pauses built into the game. Take advantage of them to let your hand recover so that your thumb doesn't fall off. I doubt this is any easier at all on a regular TurboGrafx 16 pad. I'll have to come back and do a proper score attack on this sometime, probably. We probably won't have time if I'm trying to see a bunch of levels. Kind of gotta pick one or the other. Just a completely empty level. Bald crab. Almost got through that without dying. Shit. Hmm. Nice. VZYXWVZ. And you notice that there's more than a few Z's and V's and shit here? Because it's probably the same level either way, I guess. There's only a few ending areas. The cover art for this game is badass, by the way. Look at that. Look at that sci-fi art over there. That's cool. Well, that sucks shit. New high score, though. I actually think I would prefer to play this for high score at this point. Hopefully it doesn't show. I don't think it will show the old one. In a second, I'll be right back anyway. So what's fun is if you take the two characters' names, Proko and Tiot, put them together, Proko Tiot, read it backwards, Taito Core, name of the company that made this. Been showing Taito a lot of love. With I played some Space Invaders the other day. So a couple of the enhanced 16-bit ports, the PC Engine one, Space Invaders Plus, or Space Invaders Plus version, I think is what they call it in the game. Actual game title is Japanese and includes the original Space Invaders as well. And then I played the Genesis Space Invaders 91, which is the same as the Mega Drive Space Invaders 90. That's a great game. Feels like it kind of builds on what they were doing on the PC Engine Plus version. Although there's a couple of things I like about the PC Engine version better, so they're a pretty interesting comparison. You should check it out if you like very vintage shooting. They seem to have had a specific vision for what Space Invaders should be like at that time, with the special ships at the top of the screen dropping special weapons, and there not being any shield bases down at the bottom of the screen. Instead, the player is expected to get shielding items and such for defensive stuff. The thing about having a beard is eventually you'll get small hairs in your mouth no matter what. Let's get crazy and start going downwards. My dog's making the cutest sounds ever that anyone's ever heard ever. When normally your weapons power down or on easy, they do not. That's a huge difference. I also feel like there's a visible difference in the amount of shit on the screen though too, so it's not just one thing. All the things. Not what I expected. Not what I expected. I expected them to come up on the bottom on the other side. That's why I moved to the right side of the screen. I was like, they're bringing them up on the left. Nope. Smash. That was a real cheap shot. Yeah, this game rules. It kind of doesn't matter which format you play it in. It's kind of like totally rad either way. We might have to dig into the arcade game just based on this information. Hang on one moment. Doesn't seem like there's any sort of time limit here, and I appreciate that. This game needs serious hand recoveries. Shit! Looks like it's gonna go quick from here. Yep. Very, very quick. Oh my... Nope. Do I have another life? No. Well, alright. That at least makes me feel like I put up a real number. I actually don't want to... I might disable credits here to make this simpler for score attack runs. Oh, that's an intense game over screen too. Holy shit. There's a lot of presentation stuff in this game I love, and a lot of it is because of how huge it is. And that's just because they're preserving like a center screen display from the 3-screen arcade game. Yeah, let's do that. I have to watch out though, on some games that enables free play. Like Thunder Force, I want to say. I'll take the higher road this time, probably. Take the high road and then work my way down. Who knows? Get weird with it. Get weird. Yeah, if you're watching this and you played this on the Genesis or Mega Drive and you've also played this PC Engine CD-ROM version, which do you prefer? I mean, I think we can all probably agree that this one looks and sounds better, but which one do you actually prefer playing? I think it's a fair question. I really like this, except for it is so zoomed in that it's often very awkward. You're like scrolling around to try and see stuff. It's very pan and scan and very, very cropped. shark made everything suck really fast, didn't it? And now it's just gonna fucking disappear after it's ruined my life and my game. Okay. Bye. Oh, man, no, the high road is much, much harder than the low road. I think it's way harder. Not great. The trick is whether or not I can enjoy the arcade game is going to come down to whether or not I can make the controls work. I think it's not that hard, though. I think in Final Burn, you can actually set by button to have the X button be both 1 and 2. I'm not sure, though. Yeah, maybe not, now that I think about it. No, it's the same problem I have with Gradius. Shit. I don't know if there's going to be a good way to set up the controls for that in this. thought about just getting the Darius Cosmic Collection at some point, because it might actually save me a lot of trouble in this particular regard that I'm talking about right now. As far as setting up controls and having an enjoyable way of playing the arcade version of Darius 2. I think that includes Darius Gaiden as well, so that's another good reason to get it. Darius Gaiden's fantastic. I mean, I can emulate that easily, but if it's got online leaderboards, that's excellent, you know? Either way, the second level has a mid-boss that is going to give me a lot of problems. I can see that that's the case either way. It doesn't seem to matter which path I choose. I'm going to get fucked pretty hard either way. This might just be more enjoyable on easy. In fact, let's do that. It's a shame that I've waited so long to figure out how I enjoy playing this, but I'm going to be on probably for another 20 or 30 minutes before I take these dogs out. Maybe another half hour or so. Since I'm making it easier, I don't need to unload the ROM and completely reset the table. I'm just going to be pushing off old scores. Anyway, we're going to do easy. We do 9 lives or 5. Definitely need this, so I don't want that. None of that. 9's a lot, but I still can't beat the game with it, so maybe we'll do 9, yeah. That way we get to explore a lot of levels, but not beat the game. Put up a score that means something. I think this is the best way to play the game. I'm having a lot of fun, so I might even stay on here longer. I don't know. I might take the dogs out and come back in. Who knows? I'm just now realizing that unloading the ROM and reloading it didn't erase my scores. This game saves on like the internal memory or whatever of the Super PC Engine CD-ROM or whatever the hell it's called. That's alright because I'm playing by 9 again anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. This is actually really the fun way to play. Have a ton of lives and do it all in one go. After the stream, I think I will try to play around with the arcade version of this game to see if I can make it something I can enjoy. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to get the Cosmic Collection to actually enjoy that. I need it to work in widescreen properly, with like a good scale, and have controls that I don't hate. And that's a lot to ask for, I think. I bet the Cosmic Collection has fixed all of that stuff to work pretty nice and made it pretty easy to change settings and stuff in the game, which I bet are either going to be dip switch based, which might not be too bad if Final Burn has a proper menu, or they're going to be some weird test switch menu shit that I'm going to have to figure out. Emulating arcade games isn't as easy as just firing up a video game cartridge. There's usually a bit more to it, as you can see, just by describing the control problems and all the other bullshit you can now go wrong with it. So yeah, this is, for a lot of people, probably one of the best ways for them to relive the arcade game even now. Except for, Darius Cosmic Collection exists now, so there's that. Which I haven't played. I mean, it might be totally shitty the way they set it up. I have no idea. I remember back in the day you could buy a collection of your favorite arcade games and it'd be like they turned on bilinear filtering and it's all smeary and everything's wrong. Aspect ratio's wrong. Controls are wrong. Can't fix anything. Sometimes you would just get the biggest pile of shit. I was shocked to see the default. I got the latest Capcom fighting collections, the Marvel one and the other standalone one that's got the SNK and Power Stone games in it. And the default settings have the wrong aspect ratio where it's slightly stretched. I have no idea what the hell's going on there. You can fix it easily in the menu. It's just why do you have to? Like why? Why? And it still gets pretty hard, even on easy. Having permanent upgrades is really nice. In fact, I'm wondering if that might be the only advantage you get. Because there's a lot of shit on the screen right now. More than I can handle, I guess you could say. Man, they're finding every possible way to sucker punch. This is actually a really poor run. I've done much better earlier. The second level seems like a real bitch no matter which one you choose. Like, it seems pretty awful. Fuck you, game. You shitting me. Fucking nightmare right here. This is not going well. It's taking a long time. I have to lose my shield. Lost my shield. I have to lose a life, I'm sure. There we go. Looks like we've got some weird graphics glitches there too, so it's something. Alright, here we go on the downward trajectory. As my hand rests here, that's where we'll be going. No shit. I was like, what is that little... and then it exploded. Cheap as hell. Shit. No shield, so I gotta be careful. Oh, cool. What? I really don't see what hit me. Keep it middle of the road like this. I like the idea at least. Okay. Earth with a different palette. Nice. I picked out some really good games today. I played Hydro Thunder earlier today, and that streams up too. Hydro Thunder's a lot of fun. I'm not any good at it. It's really hard. But I think it's Midway's best racing game, and you don't get to see a boat racer every day. It's a really good one. Check it out. I played the Dreamcast version, but I played several ports of it, and they're all really fun. That's one of those games where I can kind of recommend it, probably no matter what version. I've never played it on PS1, so I can't speak to that one, but the N64, Dreamcast versions are great, and the 6th gen ports of it are great, that are included in Midway Arcade Classics 3. So that's OG, Xbox, PS2, and GameCube. I may beat my high score here, though. I feel like I was doing poorly, but I'm really not. No, I think I just fell short of my high score just there because I got double banged as soon as I started talking about it. So that's second place. Yep. Not bad, though. And I'd like to go straight down, too, and see how that path goes. Yeah, this game's fun. But I always loved the Genesis one, so I have more nostalgia for that. But man, this is cool looking. One second here. Alright, I'm back. I'm gonna take the low road this time. I wonder if, did NEC handle the port? Or are they just taking that as the publisher? I mean, as the publisher, they'd have the copyright, so I guess it may have been done in-house by Taito. I don't know. Who knows? Look that up later. Also, Hardcore Gaming 101 has a Darius series, right? I'd like to see what their opinion on these ports are. But even without getting into how good of a port is it, you have to look at how good of a game is it. And the answer is, it's pretty good. It's pretty cool. I'm having fun with it. Pretty dang good. Darius 2 seems like it's pretty good no matter how you serve it up, because it's fun. I can't believe I died on the first level. This is going to be a real shit show. Yeah, every once in a while I get a very glitchy screen. I wonder if that would happen on real hardware. Probably, though. The simulation's been very, very accurate so far on everything else I've ever played, so... Damn. Got me. Yeah, I found a real fun spot on the settings here for me, so now I'm like real hooked on this. I could play this probably like a whole lot. It hurts my hand to play, and it sucks that it does. But it's it's like a remixed version of something I already played the hell out of since I was a child. I didn't even appreciate how good Sagaia was back in the day, but I was compelled to rent it a bunch of times. But I was also compelled to rent like in Sector X a bunch of times, and that's not even like that great of a game. I still like that game though. I don't know. I guess in some ways my taste hasn't changed that much for shooters, and in some ways it has. When I played Space Invaders '91, I pointed out that that was a game that I also rented quite a bit. Quite a bit of. One moment. Alright, here we go. Venus. Going all the way to Uranus. Shit. I lost my dang shield. DDoS, huh? Oh. Let's see this. Buff Magic Dragon here. Brutal. Yeah, there's no other way to do that but quick and dirty almost. Have we ever seen I? I don't think we have. We can do I in down from there. Like, I might have to come back to this, or like I said, figure out how to get the arcade game working. And I know I've already done a bunch of the other Darius games, like Gaiden and Twin, on Twitch, but I wouldn't mind redoing them. I wouldn't mind playing some Darius Twin any minute now. That game is also really, really fun. That's the Super Nintendo one. There's two on the Super Nintendo. There's Darius Twin and there's Supernova, which is called Darius Force in other places. I don't much care for it, but Darius Twin is really good. It's basically just another remix of this. It may not have as many levels, but it plays really well and it looks good. That was kind of awful. Back in the game, baby. Maybe I have done this level before. I remember every single thing about it, so it's hard to say if, you know, some of them are small variations and some are completely different. And unfortunately, this will have to be that last one. But, yeah, I've had a lot of fun with this game. We'll look into more Darius options in the near future because I really enjoy these games. I have that fancy PlayStation version of G-Darius also, we can try that out. I don't like the remastered graphics, I don't think, but it has a bunch of great features in it that make it really cool anyway. Shit. Like the first level of Darius Twins, basically this level, and the levels are just mixed around and there's not as many of them. But it has a lot of other stuff going for it. It's 2-player. Screen's formatted a lot better than this bullshit. Controls great. It's cool. I've got a really... This is a good contender on the score. I hope things go well from here. Oh, what? That's a little unfair, isn't it? Now I'm all paranoid because they could do that any time. Like, screw me again like that. Oh, that was wild as fuck, dude. Now we're riding high. What a great round to go out on. 2 million, hell yeah. I should slide an extra man my way at some point. Hell yeah, that's that one up I was talking about. Thank you, game. Dark mode on. What's this asshole? I hate this guy. That variation was actually easier. That upwards beam that he does doesn't work worth a damn. Like, you can easily get away and stay away from that while continuing to hit him. I wonder which of these is less awful. We've already done Y, or Z, so we should definitely do Y. Be crazy otherwise. Otherwise it's some shit we've already seen. I really gotta let my thumb rest here because it's about to fall the fuck off. Why? Why? So, this is the second game I played today that I'd rate an 8 out of 10. It's been a good one today. These have been fun games. This doesn't break any new ground, and it's got some pretty obvious issues related to being a little too zoomed in and crowded for its own good. It's scrolling around a bit too much, making it hard to kind of focus in a way. But it's like really good outside of that. Good enough to where you forget about that, sort of. Man, what a pitch. It was an epic run, though. Alright, it was a lot of fun. So that's Super Darius 2 for the PC Engine Super CD-ROM 2. A very technically enhanced port over what we saw on the Sega Genesis. Came out a couple of years later. Takes advantage of the expanded memory of the Super CD system. And yeah, it's, has graphics that look like something out of the arcade and sound that's undeniably CD-ROM quality. So yeah, Super Darius 2, check it out. And it's a good game. Anyway, thank you for watching.